Test, test.
It's 6 o'clock. We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. I see Pastor Steve is with us.
I just wanted to explain that I'll have to leave relatively early today. No disrespect to the council. I do value time here, but I had a meeting I had to schedule. But let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, I thank you, Lord, for the opportunity for this group to gather together in order to act on behalf and for the welfare of the people of Geneseo. And Lord, as topics are considered, Lord, and discussions are had, I pray that we would have the kind of charitable attitude towards one another that we wish we saw more on the national stage. And so we pray that you would guide us, that you would direct us, and that you would bless our decisions. In Jesus' name, amen.
If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brandon, roll call.
Arnold,
Here.
Samowski,
Here.
James, Roodhouse, Rothschild,
Here.
Kennett,
Here.
Swanson,
Here.
Barnhart.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Next on the agenda would be the Chamber of Commerce report. Good evening, Zach.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, City Council. Here's your Geneseo Chamber of Commerce report for October already, 2025. I have a passenger rail update. Here we go. All aboard. Recently, the Illinois Governor, J.B. Pritzker, reaffirmed his commitment to the Chicago to Quad Cities passenger rail with a stop in Geneseo included. That was specifically mentioned in the state of Illinois plan, and that has been reiterated by local legislators that Brandon and I reached out to, as well as the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce and the Rock Island Commission on the passenger rail. All these groups are advocating for a Geneseo stop. So we have a lot of people in our corner, which is great. However, Governor Pritzker has announced this passenger rail by continuing to include a $388.8 million plan in the Illinois Department of Transportation's multi-year plan specifically for this effort. So this is encouraging. The Geneseo Chamber will continue to advocate for any route that goes through Geneseo and against any route that skips over Geneseo, such as Galesburg, which has been mentioned as an alternative route. That route would add an extra hour to the commute back and forth between the Quad Cities and Chicago. And what Geneseo has to offer along the route is what makes the Geneseo route more desirable. The route going through Geneseo from the Quad Cities to Chicago is what makes the entire project a gem. And so the Geneseo Chamber will continue to advocate to bring this rail project to Geneseo. And I would like to suggest the possibility of forming a local commission to lobby state government and railroad stakeholders to begin this, to bring this major economic initiative to Geneseo. I think it's going to be a team effort. This is something that they're doing in Rock Island County to lobby local officials. And I don't know what this looks like. Brandon and I have only very started to talk about this, so there's nothing really official because this is all very new information. But the more voices we have here in Geneseo, I think the more of an impact we can make in making this passenger rail a reality. So hopefully we can see some movement on the passenger rail. let's talk about murals. Tomorrow, we are hosting a reveal party for mural number 6 at Richmond Hill Park at shelter number 4. The donor recognition mural recognizes the donors of the Geneseo Mural Project. And this is going to happen tomorrow from 5 until 6:30. We will have cookies from I Bake It That Way by Nicole, as well as John Puentes performing some live music. The mural has a local touch of art as well, with local Geneseo-based muralist Lexi Clark painting the tree, and David Smith of Smith Studio and Gallery doing the lettering for our donors. So it's a kind of a good 1-2 local touch there. And we plan on continuing to add future murals throughout Geneseo for the rest of the decade, 1 a year. And so we've got 4 to go at least, and looking forward to continuing to beautify Geneseo through our efforts in the mural committee at the Geneseo Chamber. Let's talk about a few quick event recaps. We had the citywide fall garage sales September 11th through 13th. They're popular. The Geneseo Chamber coordinates these because there is a want from residents for this service to be provided. And when the Republic stopped doing this service, the Chamber kind of picked it up. So we had 36 signups this fall. Our goal is 20, and so we far exceeded that. And that kind of tells us that there is definitely a lot of people who are interested in the citywide coordination of garage sales at least twice a year. We do it in the spring and we do it in the fall. How about State Street Market, huh? What a day that was. 8,000 people in Geneseo. That's likely an underestimate. I'm about to get some Placer AI numbers to give us a little bit more of a realistic number of who was in Geneseo. But it was a great day for Geneseo. We even had a brick and mortar restaurant located outside of downtown Geneseo reported their best lunch hour ever. And so that's great news when you hear not only our downtown Geneseo businesses who are having great days and all the vendors, but that businesses who are located outside of the event parameter along Oakwood Avenue are also having outstanding days. That's why we do these big events. And all businesses in Geneseo, regardless of location or chamber membership, benefit from these community events. So it's a real privilege to put them on. And we have a whole slate of events coming right up for Halloween and Christmas. Let's just dive right in. This Friday is the Cruise the Canal Fall Foliage Tours happening at the Hennepin Canal. We have one more cart left at 9 o'clock, and that's it. All the other times and spots are sold out. So looking forward to a great day at the canal on Friday. Scarecrow Row, that's happening on Saturday, September 25th at the City Park, where we decorate the park with scarecrows. But new this year, we're adding the Halloween doggy costume pageant. It will be something where we invite people to bring their dogs in costumes and to go across the stage. Ashley Moore will actually be emceeing the pageant like she does for the Geneseo Music Festival Queen pageant. So we definitely have a pro, but now she's talking about dogs. And it's something cool and fun and new to kind of help reinvigorate this event. So see you at Scarecrow Row on October 25th and see you at the Halloween dog costume pageant. We also have Witches Night Out and Witches Weekend. That's coming up October 30th through November 1st. That's a shopping promotion to kind of get a little more business downtown, as well as Christmas open house, right? That's going to be on Friday, November 14th. This is the kickoff to the Geneseo holiday shopping season. And we also start the Shop Geneseo promotion, where for every $100 that customers spend at Geneseo Chamber member businesses, they're entered to win a variety of prizes that we draw in December. And then, of course, we have the 2025 Geneseo Christmas Walk happening on Saturday, December 13th. This year's theme is Windows of Hope. We just had a meeting today, and a lot of the pieces are in place. We're just kind of buttoning up a few things on the schedule, and then it is go time for Geneseo's largest annual community event. We're anticipating 10 to 12,000 people attending this year, as long as there's no ice storm. So hopefully we have a good year this year, but things are clicking. The end of the year routine is clicking at the Geneseo Chamber. And we are proud to be a part of this community.
Super. Any questions for Zach? Thank you as always.
All right, thank you.
Okay, moving on. Item number 5 on the agenda would be the city engineering. There's Tyler.
Good evening. So for construction projects, North State Street project is substantially complete. The contractor should be finishing punch list items tomorrow. And then tree planting is scheduled for either later this week or early next week. For Geneseo Well 33, permit's been received. The city's to finalize the hookup and prepare it for operation. And then once that's completed, the city will obtain a operation permit from the EPA. Pedestrian bridge for designer reports. We submitted the preliminary plans that includes alignment, elevations, and fills, and the permit application to the DNR, the EPA, and the COE. For the Geneseo water systems analysis, we're awaiting some sampling test results. once we get that, we'll send out some bid documents for the bidding for the 6 deep well test well. And then the North State Street plans for phase 2, we met with the mayor and Brandon and Chad and Eric last week to go over those plans, the staging, and then also any other specifications we wanted to add. We're working on finalizing the quantities for that, working on permits for that. And then our bid date is going to be November 18th for that project, starting next spring. And then our Geneseo North Water Tower, we are preparing the bid documents for that for November letting as well. So.
I'm just curious for the Geneseo Well 33, and I know roughly is the final operating permit relatively quick, or is that another thing that we're all at the mercy?
I think it's relatively quick. I think it's similar to kind of the water main operating permit where you send them the test results. They make sure that it's okay, and then they give you the approval. So
It'd be nice to have that done.
yeah.
Any other questions or comments for Tyler? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Item number 6 on the agenda would be public comments related to agenda items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. Any members of our public? No? Okay, moving on. Item number 7 under mayor's comments. I have a unique recognition and certificate of appreciation. Clavine Motor Company and Dan Clavine and his sister are with us tonight. Has been in business, in service, in business in the Geneseo community for 107 years. And I was just discussing with Brandon beforehand. I venture to guess, and maybe there's a history buff in here that would know, that probably has to be the longest tenured family-owned business in the community. If not, it's got to be very close. I don't know. Dan, do you know your history on that, or? Yeah. Who was before? Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's really remarkable. And not only the tenure of business in the community, the service they provide to the community, the passion they have for the community, but like the certificate of appreciation says here, the business located at 119 South Center Street is kind of a testament to history of this community as well. I don't know how many people have ever been there or not, but it's really remarkable. Thank you for your service to the community. I don't know, Dan, if you want to say anything or any.
I'm just proud that Geneseo accepted us like this.
Yeah.
So long. Grandpa and Dad would be proud.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure would. And they, I remember, obviously, I started at Edwards very young, and I learned very on at a young age, like 15 years old, all the way through all my years of working in the shop. When you needed something, you went to Clavine Motor Company, down to Clavine, see Dan or Roy, Joe. And it was just always quite an experience. So thank you for your service to the community, your passion for Geneseo. And I don't know if you'd like to come forward and.
A couple of pictures.
Yeah,
Pretty
absolutely.
cool. Thank you, Geneseo. Mayor, I would venture to say there are very few towns that have a business like his. Period.
No, I agree.
There's
Yeah.
just no place like it.
Yep. Anybody else on the council, anything they'd like to say or add or?
It's like that, like you said, Mayor, if you not had a chance to go into that business, it's some of the items, just everything in there is so unique. They have so many neat and cool things in there. I mean, dating back from probably last week to 60 years ago, even in further back, it's a really neat shop to go into. And when I used to work at the Republic, same thing. When we needed something for one of the printing presses or something, we knew they had it. They had it somewhere in that shop, and they always came through for us. So,
Yep. Well, thank you. Appreciate you coming. Okay, moving on, item number 8, city council comments. Any members from the council?
I'd like to just add one thing or elaborate on one thing. Now, I know last week we did the flushing of the hydrants. I had a few people reach out to me. Were a little upset with, I mean, they understood that the hydrants had to be done. Their water was a little brown. There were some few people that washed clothes, lost some clothing due to the stains. I live with one of them. And yes, my phone was rather busy that day. If we could maybe, I know Chad's not here, but I know we set a schedule. We're doing it this week through here at these times. If we could maybe break that down, like say on these days, we're doing wards 4 and 2. These days we're doing 1 and 3, kind of divide it up so people have an idea when their area is going to be flushed and their water is going to be affected.
Yeah, and I know I've had that, and that we can obviously expand that, but I've had that conversation with Chad before, and just because flushing's not necessarily going on in your ward does not mean you still won't be affected, is the only problem. We just, you know, if we want to do that, we can expand the way we advertise or publicize the event, but we just would not want the public to assume, since their ward has been already flushed, that they won't experience a problem, because what's going on elsewhere can still disrupt the rest of the water system, correct, Brandon?
Yeah, I think, we advertise it and talk about it in every available public forum, but we could do that. I think it would be more likely you're going to experience some of the minerals in the discoloration when it's closer to you. But like the mayor said, we know that that's not necessarily true because of the interconnection of the system. And if it could be in Ward 3 and affect Ward 2 very easily. But we can look at it. It wouldn't hurt
Yeah.
to provide a little bit more detail. And I think right now when we advertise it, we say we start to the north and zigzag and move to the south is basically, what we do now. But we could look at adding more detail to that.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Kind of and I don't even know, anyway, I recently learned that there is what I would call a historic house on State Street that's planned to be demolished. And, from everything I've learned, it's not because it's falling apart. And I know there's really nothing we can do when an owner decides to demolish a house, but man, it just feels like when you have an old historic home and you have someone who just says, I want to put it in a garage, there should be something we could do to prevent people from just clearing blocks. But I don't know if there's an answer, creating a historic district or something, but it's just a shame when you have old homes that are just demolished to make green space.
Anyone else? Okay, moving on, city administrator comments, Brandon.
Just a quick reminder that for the public and the council and mayor, that if you're filing for a position for the 2026 elections, that those filings are coming up before you know it here. Paige will be doing those October 27th through November the 3rd. That's it.
Okay, moving on, item number 10 on the agenda would be finance director comments. 10.1 would be the treasurer's report and capital assets report as submitted.
Okay, so our treasurer is on her honeymoon right now. So I'm going to run through a couple of these. Paula and I were speaking about an hour before the meeting that the budget book, we're going to delay that for Jamie to review until the meeting on the 28th. It looks like there is, the way that it printed, there's some lines that aren't correct in there. And I, right before the meeting, had no ability to correct that in time. So we'll save that, but we'll open up the treasurer's report. As you'll see in here, where revenues over expenses are coming in nicely, just like the last meeting. The one things that has changed since the last meeting, we did get the second tax revenue, property tax payment in. So you'll see that affecting general fund revenues. There will be a third payment, a small one coming in to get us up to that budgetary number there. But everything's coming in nicely and coming in ahead of budget for the most part. Does anybody have any questions on any of the treasurer's report items? Okay. So we'll jump down to capital assets. Did have Jamie Mark on here when we published this last week and read some of the changes since the September meeting. So some of the spend that we see in here for capital projects, you'll notice under the water department that the South Water Tower, that project was completed. That was a cleaning of the South Water Tower. That is now on the books. When we scroll down a little bit more in Public Works, we see the North State Street project. We approved payment application number 8. And so I believe we'll have one more bill on North State Street as we wrap up some of the final work that's going on out there with the trees and the seating. And as Tyler mentioned, some of those final punch list items. The annual street overlay final invoice was paid. That's paid and complete. Yeah, some of the other highlights. And then finally, the police department. It says squad 34 in here, but I think it's 32, right? Squad 32 has been completed, and you guys have it back at the department now. That's been paid for and is on the books. Any questions on those? All right, rolling right into capital projects department updates. Eric?
At the same time. North State Street underground project. We are at 15 services that we have completed on the east side. So I think we have 2 houses left on the east side, and that whole side will be done. And then we'll move on to the west side. We do plan on having this project wrapped up for the underground at the end of October. We will continue to have street lights, and the poles will still be up because we still have to wait for MediaCom to get off those poles, but the street lights will have to stay up until the project's further along. What's that? Yeah, they'll trench it in. They hire their own contractors to come in and do it. The power plant windows have been replaced. They started this. Jamie didn't update this, but that project is complete. They finished that about 2 weeks ago. So the 1950 windows are out of there. Lower plant roof has been done. Battery bank replacement's done. Unit 2 overhaul. So we had some issues with our intercoolers and having them rebuilt and our turbo rebuilt. We did get the unit back on, tested for MISO. This is a multi-year project in phases. We are purchasing parts for the next overhaul. A lot of these parts have very long lead times. So you will see this project being carried over until next year. And we also have phase 3 of next year, which is the actual overhaul. But we're trying to get the parts for it now. Stewart Street Substation relay replacement. This project will start October 20th. Tri-City Electric was here Monday to kind of go over the project, make sure it should last about 3 days. Shouldn't interrupt anyone's service. The relays that we are replacing are from 2004. Better security on these, that we have better information on when we do have faults, that we know where they are, the size of faults and stuff like that. The SCADA upgrade project, as I said multiple times before, we had some communication issues with our reclosures. Our reclosures talk what's called DMP3, and it's an older communication module. So we had to kind of reinvent how we communicated to them. We did get this solved. We got the tags fixed in the SCADA. We should be moving forward in converting all that over and taking some of the fiber modules out of the current reclosures, putting new ones in, and getting that project wrapped up. Once we get the reclosures transferred over, we can actually transfer over the PLCs that control Stewart Street Substation and the power plant. And then once that's done, the project will be complete. Unit 2, phase 1, that this has been completed. The 12470 transformer conversion project. We are on Exchange Street right now. We have Remington Seed and some homes that we need to get off the 4160. We do have a planned outage tonight to convert Remington Seed and like 6 homes. And then once that project's done, the only section that we have is to convert from basically line crew garage to wells, and be able to take an outage and switch the transformers from 4160 to 12470. And then that project will be wrapped up. That is like 5 years in the making. We took very small parts to get that one done. Any questions?
Thanks, Eric.
All right. I'm going to go over some of the public works projects here. So for the water department, the North Water Tower, IMEG is currently working on the bid documents. This is scheduled to go to bid in November. Tyler went over the 6-well project. We're at a standstill right now until we receive results of well sampling for that. The Orange Street service replacement project. They are, I think, they're working today, and then I believe that there's just a few work days left on that project out there on Orange Street. The Chicago Street retirement of the water main, talked to Chad about this. They may be able to start with some isolations of the 4-inch valve this year, but most of this will most likely carry into 2026 as they focus on completing the Orange Street project and well 33. And Tyler reviewed well 33. Continue to scroll.
You know, so Chad says they can't, I mean, wasn't the generator a precondition for the permit? Yes, the generator is on order. I think Chad said that without the generator here, they would still get it out.
Yeah, I think you just have to be in the committed to getting her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my understanding is the generator delivery in January is not going to hold up them getting their operating permit unless. Donahue has substantially completed the phosphorus design for the wastewater plants, and they are now submitting tomorrow. They're supposed to be submitting the loan documents for the EPA loan program. Manhole rehabilitation, sewer lining. This is going to really be starting on Melvin Lane has moved up to the top of the list. We have a sanitary system on Melvin that connects onto 82 that's in poor shape. And right now, wastewater is doing some studying to figure out the best course of action with pipe bursting or getting that sanitary line replaced out there. What else can we tell you? North State Street, we talked about punch list items, tree planting coming up here shortly. And we'll be wrapping up the end of phase 1. That's it with Public Works. Casey, you want to?
Just a couple updates that Unit 32 is in service. There is some sort of charge it's drawing, so it isn't out on the road right now at the moment, but we're working at fixing that. And Weiser's looking at it. The company Federal Signal, if we can't figure this out, then they're going to have a rep come down and take a look at all the wiring they've done. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we really need it at this point. So keeping it in service is a priority. That if it's something above what we can do, then yeah, it's going to be a mess to pull all that wire out of there and figure out what's going on with it. That's shooting range. Still working with the fire department on figuring out an IGA of us sharing that green building and rehabbing that. Electric just got done with the new building up there, the wiring. They just got completed with that. So then now we'll move back towards looking at the building trade classes from the high school, Travis Mackey, and finishing up like some drywall and things like that. So any questions? Thank you.
And under general administration, Richmond Hill Park Stage. So this Friday and Monday, the Girl Scouts, Hannah McGee, the Gold Award Project, they're going to be doing some landscaping around the sides and the back of the new stage structure, which will be nice. That's all from funds that she raised and things that she's getting donated. They'll be out there doing that, along with producing a double-sided signboard that'll feature some of the nature aspects of Geneseo. There'll be some information about trees and native birds to the area, along with information about the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, as you have now two adjoining projects with the wildflower garden and the stage that were done by the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. So that'll be nice. Jason Dahl's been great working with Hannah on getting that sign produced with us. Pedestrian bridge at Oakwood Landing, we went over that. So that's everything submitted. Hopefully we'll hear back on that yet this fall if everything goes well. And then finally, I added a new one at the bottom. Been talking with the mayor, with some of the staff here. We're looking at doing some new landscaping. We put some landscaping dollars in the budget, building maintenance for next year, but I may come back to you. We may try to get started this year. This 20 by 30 rectangle of grass out here in front of the city hall front doors
Weeds.
is full sun, never grows properly. We don't irrigate, obviously, here at the city. So we're going to look at getting rid of the grass, trying to do something nice out there, having a couple of companies actually take a look and do some computer design of try to envision, what would look nice for us to look at there. So I'd be coming back with some of that, try to do that a little bit under this year's budget too, with, we've had limited spending under this building this year. So might try to get that started. That's all I got.
Will the water be brown in there too?
No comment.
Brandon, quick question on the overlay of the streets, the resurfacing. Now, is that the same, or do we use a different company that we used last year? Because I know some of those streets started tearing up. Like, I know down there by the post office on Center Street and the mailboxes, that really came up really bad in spots.
Yeah.
And I think parts of like North Stewart Street was starting to come up in spots too.
Yeah, we're working through all that with Henry County.
Mhm.
That's been resolved.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year Brand Construction was the
Okay.
winning bidder on the overlay.
Yeah, we did go out to bid, and they did a nice job
Yeah.
on the 2025 streets. We do have conversations and agreements going on with the county to take care of some of those problem areas that were laid in 2024.
And also, I think a koi pond would look nice out there in front of City Hall.
Oh.
Just to add that in.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report and capital asset reports is submitted.
Motion by Arnold,
Second,
second by Swanson. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
Samowski,
yes,
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 11 would be the consent agenda.
Okay, consent agenda. 11.1, approval of previous minutes, regular council, September 9th, 2025. Committee of the whole, September 23rd, 2025. 11.2, O-25-10, the schedule of water, sewer, and electric rates. Item 11.3, O-25-12, amendments to chapter 24 regarding nuisance weeds and grass. Item 11.4, R-25-14, amending the schedule of meetings for year 2025, and 11.5, omnibus method.
Motion to approve using the omnibus method and to approve items 11.1 through 11.5.
Motion by Arnold. Second by Kennett. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samowski,
yes,
Roothouse,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. No unfinished business. Moving on, item number 13 under administration. 13.1 would be amendments to chapter 10, article 3, alcoholic beverage sales, adding a service business BYOB license.
Okay, so we had the public hearing tonight without any public comment. This was first introduced in the last committee of the whole meeting. You may remember that Attorney Price pointed out there was a typo in the draft ordinance on section A.E, where that section was corrected. That was the section that previously said that customers may serve themselves beer or wine. We changed that to the licensee is required to open and serve all BYOB alcohol to their customers. So that's the change there from what you guys saw in the committee of the whole meeting.
Motion to approve O-2511 and R-2513.
I'll second.
Motion by Arnold, second by Barnhart. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Smowski,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. 13.2 under administration would be O-25-13. Additional amendment to chapter 34 municipal grocers, retailers, occupation tax and municipal grocer service occupation tax.
Okay. Flashback to June of this year, the council passed the ordinance on the local grocery tax. The state of Illinois Department of Revenue recently sent us a letter back that said, we don't like one of the sentences that you had in your ordinance. And if Eric scrolls down to that section that has strike-throughs, you can see that this is simply a terminology issue that the Department of Revenue had with how things were phrased from the ordinance that we passed. So spoke with Dirk and he made the correction and put together this ordinance with the language that the state said we must pass in an amendment here to the original ordinance. We will be getting this off once it's signed by the mayor tomorrow back to the state because the deadline for these is November 1st to have in so that we have the grocery tax continue into 2026 locally here.
Motion to approve O-2513.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Swanson. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. 13.3 under administration would be the Republic Services contract from 2026 through 2030.
Okay, so we reviewed the process that we went through with the RFP for refuse services. Kennett and Roothouse sat on that review group with Jamie, Chad, and myself. At a previous meeting, we presented our recommendation to retain Republic Services as our refuse company from 2026 through 2030. We reviewed the rates and the proposed amounts, and this is simply approving the contract that's attached here. We worked with Republic to shore up this new agreement. Attorney Price took a look. We made some changes. Everything's agreed to as the numbers that we already previously discussed with the council. So this is the actual contract that after tonight we will sign with them.
Motion to approve first beforehand, did Ann get her numbers from this?
And get her numbers.
Remember at the last council comment, she asked to get numbers for the bids? Did she get those? Did you get those, Ann?
No, but that was fine. I just wanted to make sure that we did it the right way,
Yeah.
that we did have the stuff. If I want them, you said you'd have.
Yeah, if I'm remembering the commentary back, I think told Ann she can come in and look through every page of every document if she'd like, so.
Oh. Motion to approve the 5-year agreement with Republic Services for years 2026 through 2030, sorry, and the associated fee schedule updates.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Kennett. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Roothouse,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 14 would be the payment of city and utility bills.
Pretty straightforward.
Motion to approve the city bills as presented.
Second.
Motion by Arnold, second by Roothouse. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kenneth,
Yes.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Rudolph,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 15 would be public comment related to all of other items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. Ann?
Are you going to remember about a bike rack in the landscaping project?
Oh, yes.
We talked about it. Yep.
Yes. Yes. I will guarantee you that it may not be the first part of the project, but we have it in our plan to add a bike rack to the front of the building. Yeah.
Yep. Anything else, Ann? No? Pastor Steve? Zach? Tyler? Chief, anybody in the lobby? Okay. Moving on would be, item number 16 would be a move into executive session for 5 ILCS 120/2C21.
Somebody want to motion that?
C20. Motion by
Second.
Roothouse, second by Arnold. Roll call.
Arnold?
Yep.
Samowski?
Yes.
Samowski?
Yes.
Rudolph?
Yes.
Rothschild?
Yes.
Kenneth?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Barnhart?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
And there's no action after this, right? No.
Yeah.
There'll be the approval.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot.
Nothing out of the ordinary. We do need to make sure that our YouTube